Trying to make sure. Okay, I think we're good. Hey, y'all. How's everybody doing today on this Thursday of December? Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so we're gonna get right to it because I don't want to hold y'all long. Okay, okay. I'm gonna try and be on it this week, Facebook and YouTube with my scrollies. What's the point of being fancy if you forget to be fancy? Come on now. All right, so we're gonna go over. We're gonna have a quick recap. That's the word. We're gonna have a quick recap. These lives have been about Cookie Camp, which is a 3-day event that I am having at the end of this month. It's going to be Tuesday, December 28th, Wednesday, December 29th, and Thursday. Yeah, I said that right. And Thursday, December 30th. I thought I repeated. But no, we're fine. So, yes, again, it's Tuesday, December 28th, Wednesday, December 29th, and Thursday, December 30th, beginning at 7 p.m. And, to give it like a 2-hour window, the goal is to end at 9 p.m. If we go over, fantastic, because I want to make sure that everybody gets what they need to get to encourage and equip them on this journey. So yes, even though it's a camp, well, one, if you see me looking up and down, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube right here. Okay, so even though it's called a camp, again, it is not an overnight event. It is those 3 days, but it's from 7 to 9 p.m. or more. Um, it's going to be virtual, and I will send out the Zoom link. I will send out the corresponding Zoom link for that day. So today we're talking about day 3, which I'm calling Chocolate Chip Cookies 101. So on day 3, December 30th, you will get the link that morning for the Zoom meeting for that night, if that made any sense to anybody. You can register for Cookie Camp at chastebychoice.com or on Instagram. Click the link in my bio and click the tab that says Cookie Camp and register. It is only $22. Two, two. $22 in honor of the year 2020, because we want to get y'all into 2021 and start in 2022 right and strong. You feel me? You feel me? Mm-hmm. All right. Did I go over each thing? Yeah, different things are going on different days. So if you miss a day, then you miss a significant chunk of Cookie Camp. So make sure that you are able to make all 3 days. Day 1, we're going to be going over why keep your cookies, which is the free guide that I have available to everyone, but definitely to those who are joining me in Cookie Camp. Remember to go to chastebychoice.com under the welcome tab, and you can download Why Keep Your Cookies from there. Or on Instagram, you can click the link in my bio and download it from there. So we're going to be going over and discussing that guide and having really good dialogue and chat and conversation, because I want you guys' input on that as well, because those are only 5 benefits. There are several more. A couple I learned today, but you will find that out on day 1 of Cookie Camp. So that's day 1. Day 2, we will be making our very own chaste tree. And the chaste tree I talked about last Thursday is a visual representation of why you're saving yourself for marriage. And why a tree? Going back to what the Lord told me, lists aren't always visually appealing, especially if they're really long. Like, I know I wouldn't sit there and like read a really long list, but if it was like created in the shape of a tree or a boat or something, and they had words in there, I'd probably sit there and read that tree or that boat, trying to figure out what all it's saying and how it's relative to the picture, as well as how a tree is made and how it survives. And that is critical to the structure of the tree. So if you want to learn how to do that and you want to create your own chase tree with the reasons for why you are saving yourself from marriage, then join me for day 2 of Cookie Camp. And today, today we are going to be going over the final day 3 of Cookie Camp, which is chocolate chip cookies 101. Or everywhere else I had it as baking homemade cookies, but chocolate chip cookies 101 came to me this week, so I started using that. I might change up some of those flyers. But yeah, that's basically what's going on. Thursday, December 30th, 2021. We will be baking homemade cookies. That way, if some guy decides to ask you for your cookies, you will have some to give him. Because these the only cookies we giving away for free, ladies. These the only ones. Now, if you eat them all, because they're gonna be good. If you eat them all, he come ask you for some cookies. All you gotta do is go in the kitchen, whip him up another batch, and give them to him. Like, here, you can have all the cookies you want. Because these cookies are that good and they're that easy to make. So, me, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I am a sucker for corny jokes and puns. So, since this whole thing was called Cookie Camp and I love to cook, I was like, okay, we got to do some homemade cookies to like end it off, and have everything end on a sweeter note, if you will. So, I guess to talk about well, first, I'm gonna mention some of the ingredients that are in it because, again, it is a very simple recipe. You can, it's brown sugar, butter, all purpose flour, um, vanilla, and whatever topping that you want in there for the most part. Yeah, I think that's everything. When you're not in the kitchen, well, at least me, when I'm not in the kitchen, it's like sometimes I can't always because I just go. I just go. I don't use I don't really use recipes. And the recipes that I do use, I always tweak to my own liking. And it's funny because I never even thought I'd be a chef. It was a running joke in my family that I was gonna have a maid growing up, a maid and a personal chef. And I didn't disagree with them because I always showed up when the food was ready. As soon as I smelt it, sometimes that's what woke me up because I love breakfast, right? So whenever I smelt that bacon, I was up. I started getting ready. I was like, okay, Dad, with my plate. It's that's pretty much it. That was me. So for me to go from doing that to being the sole cook in the house, pretty much, because somebody, I ain't gonna name no names, just completely once matter of fact, let me tell y'all a story of how I first started cooking. Okay, when I first started cooking, it was out of necessity because me and my little sister were going to die. Okay, I'll probably be a little over dramatic, but hey, we were living at my grandma's house, and my mom and her best friend was over, and they was sitting there, laughing, talking, kikiing, and me being the spokesperson of the family, I was like, "Hey, mom, me and Spunky are hungry. We're gonna eat. What you think about making?" And she said she was gonna do something with something, but she ain't never moved. Another hour has passed. They still in there laughing and talking. Me and Spunky hungrier. I'm like, "Hey, mom, did you forget about us in here?" And then she was like, "No, no, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it." Another hour passed. They still in there hi and kikiing. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, fucking we about to we finna go. We about to meet Jesus today." Cause like it was so it came like the idea kept coming to me. All right, why don't you try and make it? And I was like, "What?" Like this is my first time ever really cooking. I mean, I've scrambled eggs before, I've made French toast, and I've made pancakes, but those are like fairly simple things. This is ground meat. This is spaghetti and meatballs. Now, don't laugh because that sounds like a simple dish, and nowadays to me it is. But back then, like in high school, and that was my first time cooking a real meal. I'm like, bro, what? Like, no. But me and Spuggy had to eat, and that was pretty much all we had in there at the time. So, something came together. I remember calling my dad, asking him about what you call it? Asking him about the tomato sauce and everything like that. And I used what he said at the same time. I didn't, because again, I don't always follow recipes. And it came together, and to my mistake, it came out good. And ever since then, guess who ain't been in the kitchen no more? Ever since then, guess who's been cooking? This guy. Okay. So all of that responsibility fell on me. And it's like, but there were days when it was like, oh, I just wish you'd get down and do something. And then there are days when it's like, I love it. I get excited about trying out newer recipes, especially healthier ones. Like somebody gifted me a pork butt, and I love pulled pork. So, and I don't have it often. So the chance to get to make it myself is kind of exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. But the good news is apparently you cannot overcook pork butt. So this should be wonderful. But anyways, yeah, so that's how cooking got introduced into my life. I started cooking out of necessity, but I kept cooking because I loved it. There are some days when I don't even want to look at the kitchen. I'm like, you just gonna have to figure it out, mom. But then, but most of the time I'm in there, and the Lord give me an idea, and I'll whip something together, and we live another day. So yes, I love to cook, and just last year, pretty much the same as everybody else, I just started getting into baking because I used to be like, no, I don't want to bake because there's too many rules, that's too precise. Homie ain't about all that. With cooking, is very forgiving. Like you can just throw stuff in there, you can do what you feel like, and bam, it just come together. And if something a little off, you just add a little something else to tweak it, and bam, it come together. But it's not like that with baking. Baking is very structured. But, you know, last year it was something that I got into. And one of the first recipes that I'm actually the very first baking recipe I made was brownies. And that ended up being a success. I may do something with that later. And then after that was banana bread, and that was a success also. That was the one I was most nervous about, though, was the banana bread. And then it became cookies. 'Cause I always wanted to learn how to make homemade cookies. So I was excited when he being God brought me across a recipe for a very simple recipe for chocolate chip cookies. And naturally, like Ashley, I add my own little twist to it. So if you want to get that special twist, you're going to have to sign up for day 3 of Cookie Camp. And the beautiful thing about this cookie dough is that once you get it made, you can tweak it various different ways. Like in terms of toppings, in terms of add-ins, like what all you add in there to get the kind of cookie. Like that same person that used to cook but doesn't anymore ever since you discovered that I can cook. Yeah, she can be a little funny acting and bougie sometimes. Like she don't like chocolate. She don't like chocolate chip cookies. She's a white chocolate girl. So you know what I gotta do? I gotta split the batter in half and add white chocolate chips to hers and then regular ones to mine. But still, they come out delicious, and I am losing my train of thought. They come out delicious, and it's a very forgiving batter. There are several other things I want to do in there. I've had the idea to do some homemade toffee. I mean, you can always buy the toffee in Walmart, but I want to do some homemade toffee and add that and crunch that up in there with like some dark chocolate and sprinkle a little sea salt on top. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you. It's you can add whatever you want. If you're a like when I go to Subway, they have these, I think they call them raspberry cheesecake, but it's like these dried raspberries and white chocolate chips in there. Those are so good. You can add that to the batter instead of chocolate chips. If you are an if you're an oatmeal chocolate chip person, you can add some oats into it and the chocolate chips, and then you bake it like that, and you can have that as a cookie option. If you just like nuts in yours, just mix some walnuts in there and bake it like that, and you can have that. And they're even good plain. If you don't like none of that, you just want the cookie, just bake it like that, and it is still delicious. One time I made it with brown butter and I ate it just the plain cookie. Oh my goodness. You talking about made my knees weak? Ooh, ooh, ooh. So yes, I am excited to show you guys this recipe because I'm telling you, ladies, y'all gonna be the belle of the ball making these cookies. Like y'all gonna be the people, you know, those people that whenever you have an event or a function or you got a taste for something, you go to that person and ask them, "Hey, you mind making this for me? Or you gonna make this, right? You bringing that, right? Like for me, every time we got an event coming up this weekend, guess who bringing the cupcakes? Shakisha's Cakes. Okay, that's our go-to baker. If I ever want mac and cheese, guess who I'm calling? Kelly Queen. I need some mac and cheese. Okay, like it's if I want some cabbage, I hinted to my mom the other day, like, "Mom, I haven't had cabbage in a minute." And I just looked at her, hoping she'd get the hint because she's the queen of hints, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're those people who you go to for certain things because can't nobody make it like they do. Can't nobody do it like they do. Fried chicken. I go to my big sister. Oh, that girl can fry some chicken. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Jazz, I need fried chicken. Handle it, cuz mail it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you will be that person with the cookies. They gonna come to you for cookies. Like, ooh, you bringing them cookies, right? Ooh, you gonna bring them cookies, right? See, you get clout because the cookies. I'm saying, come on now. So join me. Day 3, Thursday, December 30th, 2021. Day 3 of Cookie Camp. You can register at chasebychoice.com and learn how to make some cookies for only $22. Now, you actually get more than just learn how to make cookies for $22 because there's still 2 whole other days that you get poured into and advice and a whole bunch of other beautiful things going on. But I'm telling you, them cookies is going to be worth $22, cuz I'm saying. Exactly. And besides, once you try it out and you let others try it, the feeling that you get when they taste something that you made and they love it. I think that's the main reason why I love cooking because I didn't think it was something I was going to be good at. But the fact that my mom just stopped coming in the kitchen because she preferred the way I made something, like there were times when we went out to a restaurant and she was like, "I think you can make this better." And then I tried it and I made it and she loved it. And then there are times when she was like, "I never thought I prefer something that you made over this restaurant." Because she used to get that certain dish at that restaurant all the time. But ever since I started making it at home, she prefers mine. Like whenever I bring like some banana bread or some brownies to somebody and they get like all excited because they love it or they throw hints because they want me to make them more. Like that's an amazing feeling to have people love and get excited about something that you created. And it this this is how I think sometimes, y'all. Rub my fingers together. But it really does something for me. And I would love for you all to have that experience as well. So I want you all to join me on December 30th, 2021 at 7 p.m. to learn how to make some simple but delicious, chewy, ooey gooey, crispy on the ends, soft in the middle, all melted when you break the cookies open. You got the chocolate oozing out. Oh my goodness! Yes, I'm gonna teach you how to make all that, okay? All that. So, yes, you can register at www.chasebychoice.com. And again, it is only $22. So, that is it for me. I hope to see y'all soon. I hope to get the email that says such and such registered for your class. That's what I'm really hoping. Hint, 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 hint. Okay. So, you guys have an amazing day. I will see y'all. I don't know when I'm gonna come back on to talk to y'all live, but hopefully y'all will talk back to me because I don't want to be doing all the talking. I want dialogue, dialogue, dialogue. Okay, I will see y'all later. Bye. Oh, bye, y'all.